So a little tidbit slash advice on like client behavior, like spending habits wise, for all the baby hoes, or really even anybody that is offering any kind of service based service business, whatever. I am going to introduce you to a little phrase I made up like a couple years ago that I just randomly remembered, and it is the Olive Garden trick theory. TM. So what is an Olive Garden trick? You know when you go to Olive Garden, right? And like they got like endless like breadsticks, soup, salad, whatever. And like you give them like $30 and then you just sit there and just stuff your face hole like all night until you can't and then you leave. Well, an Olive Garden trick is somebody that approaches seeing sex workers or really getting any service from like a business in like that same way. They want as much as they can possibly get for as cheap as they could possibly get it. They want everything. They don't want you to just bring them the unlimited breadsticks and soup and salad. They want you to cartwheel it to them with a smile on your face and just generally kiss their ass. And if they are not afforded like the best possible service while, you know, being a cheapskate, then they will freak the fuck out. 100%, they will freak out. They will be leaving reviews on that neighborhood Olive Garden for years to come, decades probably. Because literally, how dare you deprive that man of his $30? He was promised unlimited breadsticks, but all he got was pain. And let's just say that this guy makes like $50,000 a year, just to throw a number out there, okay? Well, because this does matter, because the income level does not matter with the Olive Garden tricks, okay? And then you have a tapas customer. And like, if you've ever been to like a tapas restaurant, it's like, you know, like small, little curated, fancy portions of food, and they, you know, bring them out to you like slowly. And, you know, you sit there, they pair them with a wine, and it's like, you know, a lot of them, you know, more higher end, expensive type of experience or whatever. But, you know, a tapas customer, they, even if the dinner is like going to be like $500, they will sit there and they will save up because they like tapas. And, when they're brought out a tiny little plate full of food with just like a tiny little bit of food on it, they're just like, wow, this pairs great with the wine and this is a nice experience. And they appreciate the experience for what it is. Do you think that an Olive Garden trick would react in the same way if they were in a tapas restaurant? Absolutely not. No, they would not see any kind of merit or value into like the effort that you put in anything. You know, they would, your ancestors would feel the Olive Garden trick's wrath. I guarantee you that. Because like, how dare you give him that tiny little portion in a tapas restaurant? You know that he could go to Olive Garden and he could pay $30 and this glass of wine was $30. You're robbing people. And it would just be, they just don't see the merit or the value in any kind of experience. And how does this tie in to being a trick, you ask? So like, you would think that like the appointments that we do that bring us like the most money would be like the ones that we're like trying like the absolute hardest. And, you know, we're skiing, we're struggling in here, you know, and that's what would bring like, you know, the top dollar, but that's like not even like remotely true. It's always like the guys that are just like so nice and respectful that are like the most generous, and they don't expect you to bring them endless freaking breadsticks and soup and salad in a brothel. Because that's not like part of the experience, you know, they're just like here to enjoy the time. And the funny thing is, the tapas trick might still make the exact same amount of money as the Olive Garden trick. Like he has $50,000 a year, but he put away the money, you know, to save up for an experience that he valued. And he's going to make it worth your time. They don't need every single added on extra, you know, to feel like that they won. The Olive Garden tricks though, you're going to be skiing. And then if you didn't ski enthusiastically enough, you know, it's just going to be bad. But no matter what you do with those people, you'll never win. You could give them the cheapest price possible. You could give the best service possible, and they will always walk away bitching. So just don't do it. And where does the advice come into play that I mentioned in the beginning of this whole video? The advice that I would give about, Olive Garden tricks is, take this little nugget of information and identify them up front. Because it's like when I first started, I used to fall for shit like that. Like, oh, if you know what I mean? Everybody else is doing X, X, and X. And, oh, your prices are too high. And it's not even worth it if I don't get blah, 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 blah. I mean, there's nothing wrong with having a lower price. But you don't need to like sit there and prove that you will do, go out of your way exceptionally far for the Olive Garden variety type of customer, because it will never work out for you. I don't care what they're saying. Just identify the Olive Garden tricks and give them what they deserve, or nothing at all.